Alright everyone, the revolution will not be live streamed, or will it? We've got a game stopping going on at the moment. This is the big news among everyone who's anyone at the moment is the hilarious attack on the Melvincapital hedge fund at the moment, going on, initially organized by Reddit and some large number of users. It has since metastasized. Trust me, this is no longer just a Reddit thing and is being organized on 4chan, YouTube videos, Facebook posts. Essentially what happens is this, with hedge funds, sometimes they take on a short position on stocks, figuring it's going to lose value. A hedge fund always will maneuver itself into a position where it's hoping to maximize its profit. If they think a fund is going to go down, short it. Maybe they're doing that in some cases. This has been talked about actually by Elon Musk for malevolent reasons, attempting to manipulate market forces. What happened is that I guess a bunch of Redditors realized that collectively they had the capability of forcing the stock in the other direction, thereby fucking the hedge fund over. Now it's looking that Melvincapital might actually go bankrupt. Keep in mind that's not the same as no longer existing. That's a legal maneuver that's used by companies losing a lot of money. The government allows them to declare bankruptcy. If you're a corporation, you're allowed to go bankrupt, restructure things without too much problem. You can get bailed out by the government. If you're a starving, lower middle class college kid with a lot of debt, you don't have that advantage. They'll just throw you in an illegal debtor's prison. I support this, but I strongly suspect that at some point, especially if they move on to other stocks, which there's already rumblings of them doing that, if this capital firm collapses, which it seems to be, there are already rumblings, murmurings that they'll move on to another stock thereafter. Apparently, that this firm got so hammered by the massive rise in Gamestop stock that they had to liquidate all of their Alibaba holdings. There's a link in the description to Ramsey Paul. It sort of gives you two images basically summing the situation up. What's going to happen is that the government will likely intervene at some point. I don't think that there's any law against what's going on, although, disclaimer, I'm not a legal expert on economics or tax code or anything related to what the SEC would oversee. But there probably will be. Probably what they'll do is they'll insinuate that it's a form of terrorism, and that's because these hedge funds donate a lot of money to political causes. Essentially, these people, unbeknownst to them, I think, initially it was mostly just fun and games. I think they're poking the bear. I support it. I think it's great. And, when hedge funds lose money, oh my God, you're going to hurt the economy. I love how some of the left-wing rag networks, which, as far as attacking Reddit users, it's hilarious since half of these people are fucking socialists. These people that are fucking the hedge fund over, it's funny to see them try to claim that it's white supremacy. I shit you not, there are several stories up right now claiming, well, this is the result of Reddit's lingering white supremacy problem. That's interesting. It's funny, well, white supremacy now is correlated with leftism, but I think you'd find that many of these users are not white and they're just having a really fun time. I'd probably join in too, but honestly, I'm not 100% sure how you buy and sell stock. I've never had a reason to. You see, until recently, I was definitely too poor to get in the game. I would give a cautionary message to any clankers that support this enough to say, well, maybe I'll put $50 into this stock. You can do that. Never, ever get addicted to stock trading. Don't lose your entire livelihood. It's just like going gambling or something. Don't gamble with more than you're willing to lose. This has been my ethos on every investment that I have made. For instance, I have the money now that I'm thinking of investing in crypto when it bottoms out, and trust me, it's nowhere near its bottom for the next couple of years. It'll then, I believe, again, disclaimer, not a financial expert, I believe it'll skyrocket. I am definitely bullish on Bitcoin in the long run. I would think to buy in. But I'm not going to say, well, you know what I'm going to do? I think that it's going to grow. Therefore, I'm going to take every penny that I have and a loan out and buy a bunch of Bitcoin. That would be completely stupid. Likewise, if you're doing this, if you want to put a couple $100 in, it's expendable, you're like, well, I've got this extra money. I'm going to join in because then I can say I was there. I was part of the ultimate goddamn millennial revolution, which is basically stock trading GameStop online in order to fuck a hedge fund over. I was there in the great fiscal revolution of 2021. That's fine. Just don't lose your livelihood. Don't sell your home buying GameStop stock. I realize it's being pumped, but eventually that means it gets dumped. It seems like the only goal at this point is to fuck the hedge fund managers over and then to move on to maybe another stock. It's almost like a pyramid scheme sort of buy-in thing. But it is fucking the hedge fund. You know, if they get completely fucked up, they have to lose their assets or something. I guess that their parent company already pumped millions of dollars into them, and the reaction was just by the Reddit people and 4chan says, oh, we'll buy more at a little bit higher a price. It's basically you're willing to take a potential incremental loss in order to fuck a hedge fund. That's basically what's happening at the moment. I couldn't be happier. This is true activism. Hedge fund managers, dude, the parasite class I don't care if, by the way, it collapses the economy almost at this point, simply because it's like, dude, we're living in a shit world at the moment. We've got a president of the United States with Alzheimer's, with dementia, who's making maneuvers to get us involved in wars and go back to the bad old days of neoliberalism. We've got a fiscal arrangement that doesn't work for anyone short of the upper middle class at a bare minimum. You've got warring, competing ideologies, the far left and populistic people on the right, and libertarians, I would say, loosely associated with the latter, that are trying to reform the system. They're being called Nazis, they're being called hateful, they're being called conspiracy theorists, they're getting suppressed online. We're living in a turd world created by a bunch of boomers who now are very, very sad because we might ruin their hedge funds. Oh my god, our investments might go up. My 401k, my stonks. Well, fucking do something positive. Reinvest all of that money into something tangible so the economy hopefully grows enough so some millennials can get jobs. It's time for you to move aside and let people who have younger, I think better in many cases, ideas and aren't completely goddamn jaded. Before we're elderly too, it's time to let us get in on the market trends. It's time to let us have a house. It's time to let us succeed. There are 5 or 6 different manners by which that can happen. I choose populism. I believe that getting government out of many things is the way to go. There are people who disagree, but none of them agree with neoliberalism and the hedge fund class and all their attendant bullshit artists, and that's really what these people are. They pump and dump stocks all of the time in order to fleece the entire U.S. population. If they lose, they beg the government for a bailout on middle-class taxpayers' dime, and now they all of a sudden have a problem with this. Well, it's Nazis, it's white supremacists, it's an attack by Russians on the U.S. economy. Get goddamn over yourself. Your propaganda has worn really, really thin. That's about all. Peace out.